Leland Benchmark Vehicles, and we are in our install center shop. And take a little bit of time today to just talk about some of our new INEOS Grenadier product line offerings. This is the reverse safari rack, and we've used a Gravity Titan 45-inch light bar. And this rack was sort of an experiment at first, and once we started doing the renderings and drawings, it sort of came together, and I wanted to pay a little homage to like the classic Land Rover Defender style racks that you see. They're kind of big, they're in your face, there's a lot of tubing. This one is engineered to really follow the lines of the Grenadier. The lighting up top is a dual control light bar, by the way, so we can do side and inner lights, all independently switched from the Grenadier auxiliary switch panel inside the cab. When I initially started, the idea had this, sort of excitement around these, as all of you are having with the Grenadiers. We started with our safari rack. I am still sort of biased towards the look of this rack. I think it complements the square nature of the Grenadier quite well. Onyx 6 light bar pairs really well. It fills kind of that gap that you get above the windshield when you put a roof rack on that extends all the way past the safari windows. But we wanted to do something more. That wasn't quite enough. And my gears started turning. I wanted to do more than just one rack. Why not have 5 versions of this rack? And this was actually the second version that we came up with for production. And we called it the Reverse Safari. Why is it called the Reverse Safari? Well, usually the Safari hoop is facing down, but we can't do that on the Grenadier because this would obviously block the driver and passenger viewpoint. So looking over towards the back here, we have a traditional safari rack on one of our Sprinter builds. And the drop nose works perfect on a Sprinter because you have all that real estate above the windshield. You have to fill that space. So why not fill the space above the windshield on the Grenadier? And that's what we went for here. Somehow we were able to create these bends, which are really sexy and came together nicely, completely TIG welded joints here that are ground smooth, so they're seamless. They look really nice. And then yeah, fitting it to that light bar was a little bit of a challenge. It took some, took some time back and forth on the engineering side to make sure everything was going to work. The rest was easy. The rest was just based off of our safari rack. So we had what we needed to sort of generate multiple versions of this rack, and we took your feedback and we put that into real life. And this is what you see. You can see it continues all the way back across the body line. The roof line of the Grenadier has the drop nose that we've done on the safari rack. Machined solid aluminum feet. So these landing pads are super easy to install. You remove the T27 Torx, that is a factory spec bolt, put on our landing feet, bolt down from the top. We supply all the hardware to install these. And if you have a few extra friends, you can set this rack on in about 5 minutes. So it takes about 5 minutes to install the feet, another 5 minutes to install the rack, and then maybe a couple hours to do the wiring. So I'll leave that up to you guys. But all the way around the back of this guy, we sort of went through a couple different revisions of how the rack landed on the Grenadier, how far back it came, as well as our badge. We didn't want to brand these things, too out of control. So we just have our geological survey marker